Don't grab the wood to untwist, grab the metal. And yes, it's slippery. I use little grabbers to get it, because you could twist the wood right out of that metal bit. These are also nitpicks. Obviously. Grab the metal. Right? I agree. Totally agree with that. I don't know that I need to put this cable in here with this, but that's where it came from. That baggie with the ends and the key in it are just in the way. Cram that back in there. There. And I'm going to leave that with that, but this I don't want to leave in there. I think that's a tape measure. I think that's my sheep tape measure, actually. It is. Very dirty. Probably because it's been sitting in this black bag. And a pin. It's fine. There. Okay. We need to measure what size those are. Well, I need to. We don't, but I do. That bag is parts for my e-wheel. Okay, measure. Go for a 7. Yep, that's my 7s right there. See, we didn't put them away. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Need to put things away. All right. Like, where's the seam? Add. Bum, bum, bum. Save that label. Close enough to center. Yeah, I had a request from Yummy to make another chicken in a rainbow colorway. So I grabbed the other rainbow yarn I have to start another chicken. I thought I was done making them, but apparently I am not. Okay. My crochet hook is missing now. Oh, where's that bag I had? See, I need to put stuff away. This chicken bag. Oh, that's not my stalker book. That's one of my idea books. I was looking for my stalker book. You don't get tired of me watching me make chickens? Alright, well, here you go with another one. I wasn't planning on doing another one, but per request, I will do them per request. Mass Bandit, thank you so much for the check-in. 2, 3. Pop that last one on. We put our scissors away. We go here so we don't get lost. We have these scissors still here. Our key. We have a lighter at ready for when we... Come on, Froggy. Stay up there. Thank you. We'll have that ready. Okay. First row is always knit. Yay! 80. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Well, I was gonna say, look at you guys bump. Lady Cricket Bug, that was a good bump because you got your rubber ducky in the pool. Sorry, Bluey, you got bumped right out of position there. I was gonna say anyway. My doctor told me that I was protein deficient, meaning I need more protein in my diet. And I'm just wondering what type of protein, because I do eat meat at least twice a day. Some kind of meat. So I'm not sure that it's a meat protein that I'm deficient in, or if it's more of a vegetable protein, but I don't know. I'm a little confused on that. And then the lady in the Thursday group, who is a nurse, said, no, you're more than likely it's your magnesium, and you're deficient in magnesium and not protein. I'm like, okay, my doctor ran the numbers, so I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying not to let her confuse me, but we trust our doctors to know what they're saying, what they're doing, what the numbers, all the numbers show. I don't know. So I don't know what to do. I mean, would it hurt me to get magnesium pill? I don't know. I don't want to be taking more pills for stuff. But I am doing a protein shake, kind of my breakfast lunch. It is frozen strawberries, frozen pineapples, whole milk from the dairy farmer down the way. Probably better than whole milk. And some protein powder stuff. I don't know. We'll see if doing this helps. If I don't feel any better within a week, I'd say I'll go get magnesium pills and start doing that. It's like super thick. It's thicker than a milkshake. I feel like it's thicker than a milkshake. But I feel like this skein of yarn also... You're taking magnesium, it works? I don't know, but my doctor says it's protein and not magnesium, so I don't know. I'll try the protein for a week, see how it goes. If nothing else, I can change it up and get magnesium too. I don't know. I don't care for taking pills unless it's absolutely positively the only option. Just saying. Mullein tea has helped. I feel like it's boosted my immunity as well as helping my digestion and so would it hurt if I get the magnesium too? Yeah. Or I can ask my pharmacist too if I don't want to, if my doctor's too busy. Yeah. It's probably the option I'll go with. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this protein stuff does. I just have to be careful and make sure the protein powder I'm using doesn't have caffeine in it because so no chocolate because I am totally caffeine intolerant. I mean, if I get a migraine headache from one M&M and that migraine lasts for 2 days, how much caffeine could possibly be in one tiny M&M? One little M&M. Can't be much chocolate in that. Yeah. It's to the point where I can't do cacao anymore. I used to do cacao as a drink. I can't. Even though it's under the scale of being... Even though they label it as caffeine free, it still has that little minute bit of caffeine in it, and still get the migraine. So I can't even do cacao. I threw out the last of what I had because hubby won't drink it either. So, and he's not that affected with caffeine as I am. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Oh my gosh, it does suck so bad. Valentine's is the worst. Valentine's is the worst. Yeah. What can I, there's nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. This skein definitely has more green in it. Yeah, white chocolate's okay. I do white chocolate. I have some Swiss white chocolate, or did I eat it all? That had bits of caramel in it. I think I already ate it. I do have some melty white chocolate in the fridge though. I don't know anything about vegan chocolate. What is vegan chocolate? I mean, chocolate comes from a plant, so isn't all chocolate vegan? Oh, carob is nasty. No, I tried carob. I don't. sorry. Thank you for the suggestion, but bleh, no. I did for a little bit, and I just no, I don't like the taste of it. It's not a good chocolate option. Thank you, though. Yeah, this definitely has. Well, I don't have that chicken anymore. Sold it.
Of course, just trying to think of things.
Yeah, I understand. Nitpicks flash sale. Okay. Oh, the lady that bought the red chicken from me sent me a picture.
Most chocolates have milk.
Her little grandson.
Might check that shake you have and see if it already has magnesium in it. BTW, sometimes they include it in the ingredients.
Oh, I'll have to look. Her grandson. Now it's going fuzzy. Her grandson carries the chicken around with him everywhere he goes. It's so cute. He's just adorable. Just adorable. It isn't a fuzzy picture, but my camera doesn't want to focus on phone. Yeah, it's so sweet. I'm like, oh, it made my day yesterday. It totally made my day yesterday. Yeah. He carries it around everywhere. He even leaves it in his backpack when he goes to kindergarten. They won't let him take it out of the backpack, but he takes it in his backpack to school. Aw, yeah, it's so adorable. Good thing it's washable. Totally washable. That was out of the mandala, yeah, the mandala cake.
Okay, I gotta get on these glasses. Time is running out.
Oh, yep. Okay, gotcha. Thank you for all your knowledge. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Delivering a big cup of TCC Liverpool up. Try not to drink it all up in one go. Have a great stream.
Thank you.
Emotional chicken doing its job. How cute.
Definitely. Thank you, Lady Cricket Bug.
Of course, anytime. Cricket Bug. Check in. Cave fibers. TCC check in. Let us go.
Let's go.
AKB, you are on early.
Hi, Mirror. Yeah, I'm on early. I was finishing up this big old blanket using like nunchucks. Yeah, I used these 35 millimeter US 70 needles with bulky yarn to make the blanket. It's a yarn that my mom gave me when we were on vacation. She's like, oh, somebody gave me this yarn and I don't know what to do with it. I'm gonna pass it off to you. Do what you want with it. I don't care. I'm like, okay. So I made the blanket. I will carry that around with me for the next week and next weekend so she can see what it became before anybody wants to claim it. I have no idea where it's going or what's going to happen with it, but it is done. I will give it a bath and properly stretch it out. I'll probably lay some towels down on the pool table and lay it out that way. Excuse me, goodness. I'm gonna drink some water. Everybody come to hang out today. It's beautiful. Love to see all you in chat. It's great. Excellent source of socialization. I appreciate each and every single one of you coming to hang out. I appreciate it. Makes me feel like I'm not sitting here by myself and talking to myself, which I probably do a bit more than I realize.
Personal question, Katie. Do you have a decent sized laundry room that the cats can get in?
I have, laundry room is okay in size, but that's where the litter boxes are for the cats. Because there's a nice shelving unit in there and a countertop, and that's where I put stuff that I use occasionally in the kitchen. Goes there.
Dread.
I'll just lay it out on the pool table with some towels. It's fine. It'll be fine. I have like a table tennis boards that go on top, so I'll just, that way it's laying flat and out of the way. This is more green than I thought there was. I think it's gonna make an awesome chicken though, especially once we get to the yellows, oranges, and reds. Bum, 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 bum.
Brandy J. Locks. No, I was still thinking about vertical indoor garden, thinking of ideas.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you for thinking of that, Brandy. That would probably be a good place. But my laundry room also does not get any kind of sunlight. There's no windows or anything in my laundry room. Nothing of the like.
Brandy J. Locks. You make lights for the towers anyway.
Yeah, I do have a strip light that's for plants, designed just for plants. I do have that I have not put up or used yet. Because the plants I have are on a kind of a metal shelf rack kind of thing, but it fits into like half of my back door, because half opens and the other half is just a big window, so I have it sitting in front of that window. I have a handmade curtain that hangs in front of it, but the light comes through and the plants seem to like it right there. So I've leave most of them there, besides the two hanging ones on the other side of the house and the living room windows, and those spider plants like it there. One, two, I was bad and went to Wendy's for dinner yesterday. Hubby had Moe's and he was not hungry, so he didn't eat.
A wild houndum appears catching using both cat rumors for daily nights.
I felt like a burger and I didn't feel like cooking one.
Knitter girl. Oh, catch friend ball. Good fibers. Oh, catch. Lunatilapsis. Oh, catch. Brandy J. Locks. What's Moe's?
Oh, Moe's is like a burrito place. It's kind of, if you have a Chipotle, it's like Chipotle, where you select whether you want your meal in a bowl or in a wrap, a burrito wrap, and then you select usually 3-4 different kinds of meats that they have. You select the meat you want and the toppings you want, and then they roll it up in a burrito and stick it in a bag of chips, and then they have a little bar on the side by their soda fountain to where you can select what kind of salsa you want for your chips. My husband's very big on chips and salsa. I'm just saying, if he had his way, he would probably survive on chips and salsa alone. No, thank you. Not for me.
Pokemon community game. Houndoom has been caught by Knitter Girl.
Congrats, Knitter Girl. 2, 3, 4. Two, 3, 4. Wrap and done. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Is that gonna... Maybe I should have put it in this cup. It's not melting very quickly.
Should I draw the balloon dog with a beard? I'm drawing in my stream a funny balloon dog feed.
Oh. Sounds interesting.